fence. He's on the fence.
Say what you want.
No, here's the problem. I think that they...
We'll go to the MVP. So Bryce Cotton, Jalen Adams, no surprise there. We think it's probably going to be out of those two, Joe Lawala-Chul, the third player there as well. And I guess the question comes down to the Kings have had the team success. Jalen Adams has been on fire. He's been a massive part of what they've been able to do. Does he get penalised because Bryce Cotton is playing with a team that doesn't have the depth of talent? Because both these guys have been sensational. Where do we sit?
I'm Adams 100% because they've won, like you said, 9 or 10 games in a row. He's playing phenomenal basketball. Cotton's been down a little bit, and we've seen Cotton play the entire year. And we've seen him over the years play great. He's down. I'm going with Adams.
No, I think Bryce Cotton, I think he's got the runs on the board historically. Now, I know that shouldn't have any impact in what's happened this season, but the fact he's been so great. If you go back to the 2019-2020 season over in the G League, Jalen Adams and Chase Buford were both runner-up in the MVP and the Coach of the Year. So that might come around yet again because I think Chase Buford would be right up there with what the Sydney Kings have done. The thing that surprised me a little, now I don't know who you're going to take out, but Brian Goorjian didn't even feature in the top 3 in the Coach of the Year award, which is a little surprising to me.
So you've got Vickerman on top of the ladder. You've got Chase Buford, who we just spoke to, and he's won 14 out of 15 games, 10 straight games on the road. And neither of those guys might get it because Scott Roth has done such a fantastic job with Tasmania.
That's
so
right.
It's so difficult.
No, Scott Roth's going to win that award.
He deserves to do so. Tasmania have been brilliant, Kane. I love your work. ESPN.com.au, of course, for all of his...
Battery 90%.
Oy, baka naman, follow nyo din yung page. Sige na.
I heard you whispering in the background before the show. That's a good one. That's a good gag. That's a good gag.
Friday night date. We'll have more on that next week. Next up on The Jump, though, we're going to unpack a massive night of NBL, which is coming your way.
Homedics Physio Massage Gun, available only at Chover Shop.
Everything is up for grabs. The question is, will you take it? Take control. Take flight. Take down a giant. Take back a dynasty. It's playoffs time. And greatness is for the taking.
Baseball is back. The greatest game ever. You got me feeling like...
Mag-i-start na, boss. Na oras na ba dyan sa Pilipinas? Is it 5?
The Brewers and the Phillies, two clubs with high hopes on Sunday Night Baseball.
Oy, shoutout dyan sa mga taga UAE. Kay Boss Jan Villar Moreno.
Jumpers are looking to cap off an extraordinary NBL debut season by making the playoffs. Will they pinch the final place out from under Scott Morrison and the Wildcats? It all comes down to this weekend. Huge stakes for both sides, and we love the passion of Scott Roth. He has been so wonderful for basketball in Tasmania and the Jack Jumpers. And lads, we have such a cracking round of NBL coming up just to finish things off before the playoffs.
Gusto ko sana manood ng live. Kaso busy. Di na makakaabot.
Thought that they potentially might be winning 17 games this season.
Kaya dito na lang tayo sa bahay. I-share ko na lang rin sa inyong stream. Diba? Ayos, madami ding nakanood.
Scott Roth has done a magnificent job, and
Oy, shoutout din sa'yo, Boss Justin Tibayan. What up, bro? Oy, Quezon City. Sige, Lodi kay
Adelaide 36ers.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Here we go. The Adelaide 36ers taking on the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Now, neither of these teams have had the season that they would have wanted so far, but for Southeast, they were right there with a chance to make it to the top. I thought this could be a championship year for them, but they have dropped off like no other towards the back of this season. And one team who's actually been playing well, they managed to break that Sydney streak, is the Adelaide 36ers. So more than happy to take them as the underdog in this one. And if you want it a little bit safer, then you can play the handicap there. I think 5.5 is just a little too short. I think Adelaide can definitely cover that as the underdog. If you're looking to play the total points, then I'd probably take the under in this one. Enjoy the game, and most importantly, gamble responsibly.
I'm never off my grind. I'm always on time. I'm ahead of the game. I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues. I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh. I'm so raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like A-Day. I ball hard and clutch play. It's game time like A-Day. Now let the games begin.
Well, it's the last Friday night of the Hungry Jacks NBL regular season, and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are looking to finish their homestand in style with a 7th win for the Heartland faithful. But their opponents tonight, the Adelaide 36ers, may be in their best form of the season, coming off back-to-back wins against title contenders Perth and Sydney. It shapes as an interesting clash as we welcome you to John Cain Arena for the continuation of round 21 of the NBL season. Hello everybody, I'm John Casey. Great to have your company here on a Friday night. I'm with championship winners Leonard Copeland and Pete Hawley. Last 9 games between these teams have been decided by single figures. We could be in for a good one.
Well, we could be, but as you said, Case, both these teams have had less than desirable seasons, so you want to finish the season on the right note, especially if you're the Phoenix. We talk about title contending teams. Everybody had the Phoenix up there in pre-season, early on in the season. Hasn't gone the way they would have liked, so you want to send your fans out on a bit of a high note, but you're playing an Adelaide team that one of the hottest teams in the competition with a big win over Perth and a big win over Sydney.
This is the first of our doubleheader, and a little later we're going to the Wild West, and Perth will play host to Illawarra, 4th against 3rd. Massive playoff implications there. Really looking forward to that clash, but let's focus on Phoenix and Adelaide for the moment, because both have got appointments later in this round 21, and as you say, Hulls, Adelaide looking to finish in style, and so too the Phoenix, Leonard. They'd like to finish with a couple of wins, beat Adelaide, and then of course knock over Perth in the last round and feel good about themselves looking forward to next season.
Absolutely. You want to play for your fans. I mean, although it's a very disappointing season and they know they should have played a lot better this year, you want to go out in style. You know, you want to get that last home win and hopefully get those fans coming back next year.
Mitch Creek, 2nd in the league and scoring 21 a game. He is the main part of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix starting 5, brought to you by DoorDash. Use the code DASH2LA to win a trip to see all the Lakers play in LA. Looking forward to that. A lot of talent there, Copes.
Yeah, Leoff and Mumford, 2 very good guards. Strangy in there with a 3. Creek and Shee, now those guys have been doing very well on the boards. Disappointing season, like we said, but there's a lot of talent there.
Well, Mitch Creek's had a ball against Adelaide in the 2 games so far, 27-11 and 29-7. His 2 hauls against his former team, and he has been turning it on. He really does set the tone for this team.
Well, I mean, he's their franchise player. He's their franchise tag from day one. The Phoenix came on board in the NBL, and he had a fantastic game once again against Tasmania. The question mark has always been, and we know there's been a lot of questions about Phoenix. Does he get involved enough in the clutch? Should we find out, does the ball get in his hands? Should he be the one who's just taking the shot? He's their superstar, and I think they should live and die with him a lot.
Really looking forward to that. Dusty Hannes has been turning it on for the Adelaide 36ers. He came up with 22 in Sydney and equal best 23 in Perth. Why haven't we seen this on a more consistent basis, Copes?
Well, look, a lot of things. One thing is there's not a lot of pressure now. I mean, the gloves are off. These guys can't make the playoffs. Last couple of home games, he's found his niche, although being a bit too late. But we know he can shoot the ball, and he just looks like he's having fun now.
Yeah, and let's hope it continues here tonight. The Adelaide starting five. Well, he still hasn't forced his way into the DoorDash starting five for the Adelaide 36ers, but he's going to be an important component off the bench.
Well, he will be, but as Coach said, the pressure's been off for the Sixers, which is why we've seen them play really well. They went to Perth, got that win, went to Sydney, which I thought was a more impressive win. The way they went about it, Dusty Hannage, you could see just on their faces in both those games, that pressure is right off, which we know when you're not making the finals, there is no pressure, but you still have to try and prove yourself out there, whether you're playing for a contract in the NBL, you're playing somewhere else. But they look like they're just having fun and playing with confidence. And it's kind of, once the pressure went off, it brought them all together in a weird way. And they are clearly playing the best basketball they've played so far this season, which I'm sure as an Adelaide 36 fan sitting back at home being like, well, where was this? And I'm sure the players are probably looking in the rearview mirror saying, hang on, if we played like this a bit earlier in the season, this could be a whole different year.
90 against Sydney. They were down 10 in the third quarter, had to dig themselves out of a hole, but they came up trumps. And it's Simon Mitchell addressing the Phoenix as he tries to lift them. They've lost 8 of their last 10, the Phoenix, but they've led in the second half in 8 of their last 10. They just haven't been able to find a way to get across the line.
Oh, no doubt about it. Full automatic car, there is no clutch there. And we've seen that. It's when it comes down to, they've had leads. You talk about the last 2 throwdowns. They look like they would potentially walk away with a convincing win in those throwdowns and couldn't get it done in the last quarter. The last quarter has been an issue. The defensive end has been an issue, and some missed opportunities, no doubt, because some of those single-digit losses, you flip those into wins, and all of a sudden you're knocking on the door. And we know with their talent, if they could roll at the right time, then you wouldn't have wanted to face them in a final series, but unfortunately it just has not panned out the way that I think everybody expected.
Their last 10 losses, all single figures. And they haven't won an opening quarter in their last 5 games, so let's hope for their sake and the fans that they can get off to a good start here.
That doesn't bode well, Casey, when we talk about them struggling to finish and they struggle to start.
Absolutely.
Only leaves you 2 quarters to try and get a win.
Well, you spoke about it. I think there's times when you got to get Creaky the ball. I mean, yeah, in the fourth quarter, but get him going early because they will follow him. If he's rolling, then everyone else fits into place.
The Phoenix win the tip. And they go to Cheese straight away. Scoring against Adelaide when they were last in Adelaide. This time he came up empty, though. And a chance for Mitch McCarron to bring Adelaide back up the floor. Adelaide using this starting 5, including Hiram Harris. Still no Bairstow for the 6th straight game. Harris has been influential. Shares it with Johnson again. They're patient as well with the offense. Shot clock rolls to single numbers from close range. Well, Sunday Ditch overcooked it. Now Munford gets head and shoulders beyond him. Likewise, just going to slow it down here. Oh, nice footwork from Tarangi. Baseline, talked out of the points there. Good recovery from Withers. Ball trickles out of court.
Two back-to-back layups that look like they just slipped out of both players' hands. First Sunday Detch and then Tarangi. But another one, Xavier Munford, when he's been in attack mode, he's looked really good.
Yeah.
When he first signed, I was really high, and I still am thinking he's a terrific player. He's had a really good season. I think they've had to use him a lot more in the clutch. We talk about how many pieces they've had to try and fit around in the right spot, trying to put this puzzle together.
Detch, 8 on the shot clock against Liapa. Takes him on. Tough shot. Rattles around the rim and open scoring.
A lot of that with Mumford as well is when you're trying to play 3 or 4 guys in that one position, it's hard to, just to stay focused. It's hard to keep your confidence, to be consistent. So without giving him all the blame, I think there's definitely some better ways of playing him.
Tarangi off the mark. Phoenix 0 of 3 from the field to start the game as Harris gets it from Withers. A little over 90 seconds played in the opening quarter. Daniel Johnson in great form.
This is a danger matchup for Zhou. We know he can get in foul trouble quickly because Daniel Johnson draws fouls as good as anybody in the league. So many different ways. Back to basket, out on the 3-point line. Interesting we haven't seen Mitch Creek and Daniel Johnson match up on each other. Last times they've done that, they've had some explosive first quarters, and I'm pretty sure they shake each other's hands beforehand and try and say, let's just give each other a couple of easy buckets. And that's the wide open 3 for Daniel Johnson. They dodged that one.
Around 14 in Adelaide. They both had 14 in the first quarter. Outside shot off the mark there from Liapa. So none of 2 from long range, none of 4 overall. Adelaide will come up with possession.
Saw the news of Ryan Brockhoff ruled out for the rest of the season with a calf strain now, I believe, after that AC joint, and that no doubt it's not the whole reason that they had this collapse towards the end of the season, but he was playing really good basketball. He wasn't shooting the ball well, but he was having an outstanding season for what he contributed. Mitch McCarron gets lucky, but gets the 2 points to go.
And rebounding.
Everything.
He's doing everything.
Besides Mitch Creek, the one other guy they could not afford to lose in terms of the glue was Ryan Brockhoff. He is a true leader. You could see the way everybody listens to him out on the court. So horrible timing for him to pick up that injury.
Zhou opens the Phoenix account. 2.5 minutes. The question mark around Chi. Do they need him to come back next season? Here's Sunday Detch firing, knocking down the first 3 of the game as Adelaide open up a 5-point buffer.
Jeez, he's being aggressive early, isn't he?
Much improved 3-point shooter this season after working at it during the off-season with Brett Maher. Detch, it's been good. He's hit 37 threes this season, 32%, which is a big improvement on his career numbers.
100th game today, Sunday Detch. Big congratulations to him. He's been great, and there is Ryan Brockhoff. To be honest, looks very good on the bench, but looks better in a uniform when he's playing.
11.7 rebounds are his averages, and top 10 in the league in steals. Brings a lot to the table. As Munford opens his scoring account. Adelaide by 3. Took over 3 minutes played opening quarter action. John Cain Arena.
And his stats were great, Brockhoff, but it was more about his leadership and him and diving after balls and grabbing those guys and putting them in a huddle, you know, to get them going, you know, before when they were struggling.
Well, we talk about Mitch Creek being the leader of the team. A lot of that is by example with what he's going to do on the floor. When it comes to being vocal as well, Ryan Brockhoff was that guy. Yeah. And if you go to a game, you can see that when he was playing, and everyone listens to him. He's got that experience. We know what he can bring. So to lose that at a crucial point, it's always going to be hard to recover from that.
Shot clock in red numbers. Detch penetration, trying to protect the shot. Chi worried him out of the points, and Creek off and running. Leafa to his left, Munford to his right, goes solo, can't complete it. Loose ball scramble, and Harris and Chi collide. Foul's going to be called on Hiram Harris.
It's good follow by Zhou. He's being active, and they're custom frames, Copes?
Yeah,
would be.
They look good.
18 games is all that he was able to manage, and that's big chunk. And let's not forget that this was a team that at round 9 was 6-2 on top of the ladder, and even round 14 11-6 and second on the ladder. But since then, well, things just haven't gone their way. 5 on the shot clock here for the Phoenix. Ball knocked down out of court. They've got 4 to get something happening.
I'm not mistaken, Brockhoff signed for a couple of years, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe he signed another extension. Only 31.
He's only 31, yeah. Good.
Got a lot more to bring. I think we're talking in the future of being healthy, just the confidence that he came with this season after having that end of the stint last season. You're talking about an all-NBA caliber player once he puts it all together.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that. It's an NBA player. He's played so well.
And it's funny, he's known as a three-point shooter, but he gave a lot more than just three-pointers this year.
Adelaide being casual with the ball. Yet to turn it over, but they've tried hard. But the outside shooting has been all the bottom of the net. Sunday Detch 2 of 2. Adelaide by 6.
I think CJ told him, look, it's your 100th game. Anytime you get to have a little milestone, you have the ultimate green light.
Tell you what, whoever's guarding needs to stop going under that screen now.
Zhou muscles his way inside. He's got 4.
You have to stop going under now. It's 2 of 2. Little down screen, and Xavier Munford trying to go under both the staggers.
Not going to work.
Well, he was always going to turn into it. This is what we're talking about, playing with confidence as Zhou. That's the moves on Kai Sotto.
Ooh, nice move.
We saw Sunday Detch hit 6 of 10 threes against Illawarra back in round 8. Can turn it on. Pocket pass here. Sotto checks into the game. Immediate impact from him as well. So they've got the answer so far, Adelaide. 5 of 8 from the field at 63%. At the other end, it's a contrast. 3 of 10, the Phoenix now at 30%, and none of 3 from deep. Compared with Adelaide's 2 of 3, and Detch has been doing the damage. Shares it with McCarron. Inside Sotto, hook shot from long range. Couldn't make it work off the window. The middle stage of the opening quarter. Whistle off the ball.
That's what we call on Sunday Detch. Dusty Hanners is checking in, so Copes, over under 37 seconds for him to get his first one up. Dusty Hanners after his last 2 games. 37 seconds.
30 seconds. It'll take him less than 10 seconds to get a shot up. Are you kidding me? If he's smart, what does he have to lose?
Here's Chi wheeling and dealing inside as well. Passive D play by Johnson, but he's pinged for the foul nonetheless. His first personal chance at three-point play here. Zhou is giving him all sorts of problems.
Well, he is, and this is why I tried to go to him early, and Daniel Johnson didn't like it. You just see his left leg. He was trying to use that to push right there, lift his left leg up. Not a whole lot in it, but that's what the referee was signaling as well. And this is
61% free throw shooter this season, 50 of 82, Zhou. 12.7 boards, second in block shots, 64% from the field. Would you bring him back next season, Copes?
Certainly would have a look at it. I mean, look, he's been great for the league, blocking shots. He just seems to play a lot better against the stronger big men, Zhou, and those. But he struggles against guys like Daniel Johnson because they can shoot from outside. So something you got to look at.
There you go. Can be exploited. Dusty Hannas creates something very
straight
sharp.
away.
Straight away.
I said 37 seconds, about 3.5 seconds.
I think that's what Copes predicted. There's Liafa away from Sunday Ditch.
If he's smart, he'll take the next one as well.
Good ball movement. Get it outside, but Glidden, he's open. Can't connect. 3-point woes continue for the Phoenix. They're none of 4 from deep.
This is another thing with the Phoenix. You talk about their struggles and talk a little bit about them in the clutch, but they were a team designed to shoot a lot of threes and have to make a lot of threes to win some games. And I remember very early in the season, they had that game after starting really well at Kudos Bank Arena against the Kings, where no one could buy a three until the last quarter. And that was when we were saying they can't have a game like that again. And they've had multiple ones where just everybody has been cold at the same night. You look at their shooting ability. Liafa can knock it down. Mitch Creek was shooting at a high clip this season. Cam Glidden, we know his history. Ryan Brockhoff, Kyle Adnam. These guys can all shoot the three ball. Need to knock them down. And just they've had too many nights where they've all been cold.
But you know what? You said it. Sometimes you can have too many scorers on a team. And you don't have enough role players. Everyone on that team can score. Yes, you can score, but everyone shouldn't have to score. I mean, you got 3 main guys that you should try to get the ball to. And if they're not rolling, then yeah, you pass that ball off. But
that can't happen.
31% on the season, 7th in the competition. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix from deep. This man Dusty Hannas, though, maybe the best free throw shooter in the competition. 53 of 56, 95% coming into this game. And just helped himself to the first pair there for Adelaide. 4 in the game for Hannas. And it's a game high. 7-point lead. A little over 4 minutes out from quarter time.
With all this talent, I just don't see why they struggle so much in the first quarter and in the fourth quarter. I don't get it.
Well, unfortunately, they don't get it either because they would have tried everything they can to fix it. But something that's really stood out for me is their assists. In 2020, when they entered the league, they led the league in assists with just under 19 a game. If Sotto misses that one. And then last season, they were second in the league at 19 a game. And this season, they're dead last in assists per game, just under 15 per game. That means that, one, you're not making shots, yes, but that ball's not zipping around.
That's right.
Like it used to. This is a team that's first 2 years, as Adnam comes in, draws the foul. First 2 years, they had no issue scoring the ball. Leading the league in scoring, but also giving up the most amount of points. So the real question was defense. With all the different rosters, the changes, trying to get everybody out there, they haven't been able to find that to click to who is going to be that guy to pass the ball. Let's talk about last season with Kiefer Sykes. Yep. When he was injured, Kyle Adnam started. Had 13 assists in one game. Completely changed the way he played. As I said, I still think Xavier Mumford is a really good signing for him.
But you struggle to have Mumford, Adnam, Liafa, all trying to play one position.
That's one too many. Phoenix back to within 2 here.
Rocky Parker into the game.
Parker.
No Foxwell tonight. He's at the Nationals. He had 30 points today, I think, in the Nationals, but he's been the first man off the bench.
National Under-20 Championships. Pressure up the floor here on Adelaide, but they break it down. Hanna's wide open for the triple. Can't connect. McCarron, the offensive rebound. Couldn't connect either from close range. Lufelmeyer back to Sunday Ditch, who's been connecting, but not on this occasion. Lufelmeyer got it back. It stood on the line, according to the referee.
Chance here for Barker to get some minutes, get some shots up, because I believe his Frankston Blues in the NBL 1 start their season tonight. And that's a 40-minute game, 40-shot game for Lockie Barker. So hopefully he can get a couple up here.
You spoke about assists. That means everyone's going at their own. Everyone's trying to score themselves.
G takes on Sotto, draws a foul. He's off to the free throw line again. Sotto picks up his first personal, 6th team foul on Adelaide in this opening quarter.
I do like the Phoenix have given Zhou that reign. Every time he's on the floor, first possession, just let him go hard. Pick up some fouls. They got a couple fouls on Daniel Johnson going at Kai Sotto. He picked one up.
Only had 7 and 8 points in the 2 games against Adelaide so far this season. So this has been an enterprising start for him to have 7 already.
I think you mentioned a case just before about with Zhou. I'd love to see him back for the Phoenix. I think there's, as you mentioned as well, Copes, certain matchups that he can be really dominant against and have those. And there's others that we see. NBL over the last few years, they love playing small ball. So in those games, maybe he doesn't play as much, but there's still plenty of opportunity there. And he's had some big games.
6 unanswered points from the Phoenix. They're back to within 1. As Hannah's exploring. Got in the air against Ashley. Soto's hook shot again off the mark. So he's now 1 of 4 from the field. Chance for the Phoenix to take the lead. Ashley. Sag off him. Oh, he wanted to get the pass to Glidden. Picked off. Dupelmeyer with support. Throws it to Withers, who takes them on and earns a trip to the free throw line.
2-3 zone from the Phoenix. Something we haven't seen a whole lot of this season. I don't mind it. Something different. And maybe that's something they could have looked at when their defense was struggling throughout the season. Of look, we're not back. Speaking of Simon Mitchell, a lot of it was, okay, our bigs are struggling in the on-ball, Brandon Ashley, Zhou, and then it was the guards once they fixed the bigs. So they never found the consistency. Really locking into a 2-3 zone with a certain lineup wouldn't have been a bad thing to try. I mean, we've seen different Syracuse zone, they did it so well for so long.
Absolutely.
If you just lock into being, okay, with this lineup, with Zhou out there, maybe we're going to play zone for however long and really try and perfect that.
So Withers makes the back end to open his scoring account. Adelaide by 2, a little over 2 minutes out from quarter time. And these teams last played round 17. Adelaide led it easily at quarter time. Couple of turnovers now for Brandon Ashley.
Again, playing 9 or 10 guys in the first quarter, too, is something strange to me. I mean, I know times have changed, especially when we played, but I'm just saying, how do you get...
Well, a lot of it now is with that season doesn't matter. You still want to give that opportunity.
Of course. How do you get consistent? How's the consistency? You're just trying to play that many guys in 1 quarter in 10 minutes.
I wouldn't want to be doing the weather in that. I couldn't see you. It was a green screen joke, Copes.
Yeah. It went right over my head. Got it.
But you're right. They've done that all season long. They have. I mentioned it now, but just trying to see, again, who's hot, who's not. But hard to get players feeling confidence that way.
100%.
Xavier Mumford is someone who's like, okay, I'm playing really well. I know my minutes are going to be here. Maybe I close out the game. Maybe I don't close out the game.
Good defensive stance there from Adelaide. Shot clock expires on the Phoenix after Withers had rejected the shot.
It will be an interesting offseason, no doubt, for the Phoenix. And the first one is going to be Mitch Creek, what happens there, because he comes back, you can try and build that team around your franchise player. He has come out and said, and he said in the press conference last week, I believe, that if he plays in the NBL, it will be for the Phoenix.
Well, this is the team that looked as though it was going to the grand final last season, led by 16 in the second quarter of game 3 of the semi-final series.
They were 20 minutes of game time away from winning a title. If they beat Melbourne, they win.
Yep.
With no Bryce Cotton in that grand final series, they were going to struggle to beat whoever it was going to be. Withers knocks it down. So that's what really hurts. Yes, you're in a semi-final series, but you're 20 minutes of a game away from having a ring.
Little over a minute out from quarter time. Adelaide by 5. Margin's been as big as 7. They've led exclusively since Sunday. Detch open scoring. Glidden off the mark. Chi tapped it to his own advantage and kept it alive. Johnson playing against him already has 1 foul. She muscles his way and helps himself to 2 more. He's into double figures.
10 points, 4 rebounds. He's got 3 O-boards. Really aggressive, and the energy's there.
Withers with a foot on the accelerator, coast to coast. Too hard off the window. Glidden quick outlet. Adnam. Phoenix looking to grab some momentum here toward quarter time. Adnam exploring. Nothing on offer. Goes solo. It was a good option.
No doubt they have talent on this team. There's no doubt. We know that. They just got to figure it out. Do you bring different imports in next year?
As Dusty Hannahs opens up for him, and from close range he helps himself to 2 more. Now with 6 in the game. Adelaide appear to have the answers so far. They're up 3. Last play of the opening quarter. Xavier Munford with it. And some latitude by Withers. Now shares it with Krieg, who pulls the trigger on a 3. It's off the mark. Glidden, the offensive rebound. That's after the event. Going to be waved away. So for the 6th straight game, the Phoenix trail at quarter time. At the end of 1, it's Adelaide 22, the Phoenix 19. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Where there's flame, there's flame.
'36ers, although Zhou had plenty to say about it for the Phoenix. His 10 points came on 4 of 7 shooting, but Sunday Detch with 8 points, including 2 or 3 from deep, eases Adelaide to a 3-point edge at the end of 1. And tonight's winner of the $50 Kmart gift card is Michael Harrison, who's there, his 10-year-old son and his cousin. First ever NBL game. Look like they're having fun. Congratulations to you. We really thank Kmart for their support of the Hungry Jacks NBL as well. Adelaide with the possession arrow to get us underway. Term number 2, led exclusively in that opening quarter. Daniel Johnson yet to score in the game. Somewhat surprisingly, feeds Withers, who's off the mark with his opening shot.
Tom Withers doesn't look like he's going to be passing that ball much tonight. It's come out. The time he's caught it, he's going to let that one fly.
Hasn't had the season he would have hoped for, nor that Adelaide were expecting either for Todd Withers. Here's Munford wheeling to the top of the key, got an open look and splashes the triple there. First, or the second of the night, after being 1 of 7 from deep in the opening quarter.
He's solid though. He's a solid point guard who can a combo guard who can get it done.
I like Johnson. Johnson opens his scoring account. I think Munford would work into the Adelaide rotation nicely next season.
We'd go on that actually, Case. That's exactly the kind of piece you think they need to work alongside at Detch and McCarron.
Yep. I just think that they need the support, and We'll hear more about that as this game goes on. But let's go courtside for the first time tonight. Maddie Garrick is there for us.
Hi boys, I am courtside here. I've actually missed you guys. We didn't have a stoppage in the first half or first quarter there. I listened into Simon Mitchell and what he had to say. He was telling the boys that they need to pick up their defense and also get the ball back inside to Zhou, because that's where they were getting their scoring points. Now it didn't feel like they were down by 3 points. It definitely feels here in the stadium tonight that they're down by a lot more. So hopefully they can heat it up. It's a little bit cold here. I miss talking to you guys, so we'll see how this game goes in the end. And hopefully they can fire up.
Great to have you back.
Thanks, Matty.
DJ, baseline, can't connect.
Straight off the plane from Bali, I believe, Matty.
Good for some. It's a chance for the Phoenix to edge a little closer here. Adelaide by 5. Glidden hits it to Munford, who fires again. This time couldn't make it work. Daniel Johnson with a rebound and charges off with the ball-carrying duties as well.
Give up a 3 to Dusty Hannes, then you try and answer back really quickly with that, and you leave Sunday Deck just knocked down 2. Dodge a bullet there. We get a good look down here, and as Matty said, Simon Mitchell wants get the ball to Zhou. He's had success early. He's got 10 points. He's demanding a lot of attention. They'll just have to force it in there. What play can you run to try and get him the ball where he wants it?
Jeez.
And that's what I mean by forcing. That's where the timeout's coming. Yes, Xavier Mumford's pointing right now to Ruben Train, saying, I want you to lead for it, get the ball. But you can also run a play, whether it's a cross screen, because really
1 to 5 cross screen.
Zhou Chi's strength is not going to be backing someone down to get to his spot. Daniel Johnson's going to push him all the way out. Set a cross screen, make Daniel Johnson have to fight over it. So this could be, we'll have a hand on the trigger here. This could be a quick boy from Simon Mitchell. Oh, yep, stand up. There you go. So he's telling us exactly that. Nice. We were going to have a listen, and then he goes with the old stand-up. Every coach gets one, and rightly so. I mean, we just highlighted it. Matty spoke to us about what Simon Mitchell wanted. He can't just force it. There's got to be a play. If you're the point guard, Xavier Mumford, right now, what play can you run to get the cross screen, get it down screen, get the ball to Zhou in the post? Daniel Johnson was just being physical, trying to push him off the block. They blew up the pass to the wing to Tarangi and then threw it out of bounds.
My question is, when you've had a season like this, and a disappointing season, you're losing, there's no fire with these guys. Has he lost the squad? I'm asking the question.
I mean, the fire, when you don't make finals, how disappointing it would have been. It's going to be hard to ignite that flame. No doubt, but again, you know how disappointing it is. Everybody had you being successful this season, so got to find a way just to come out and finish the season on the right note. There's just no other way to think about it.
And Copes, I really don't enjoy, nor do I adhere to or subscribe to the coach ever losing the players, because it's up to the players.
Yep.
It's not up to Simon to motivate them. Get off and do it yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it for your own pride. Show something. You can't be hiding
100%.
behind the coach has lost the players. That just doesn't sit well with
Copes lost me on our China trip very early, but we went undefeated and won the whole thing. So look what happens.
I motivated you. I got you going, didn't I? With the checkbook.
We won't go there.
But I hear you, Case. But you're right. These guys are playing for their future. They're playing for the fans.
Yep.
There needs to be more urgency. I mean, I know you're not making the playoffs, but give me something. I'm paying for these tickets.
Yep. 4 on the shot clock. McCarron with the left hand can't convert. Particularly after the coach has just told you he wanted something and you don't come up with it, or the complete opposite. Only after pass to Tarangi. Sort of zigged when he needed to zag. So they've coughed it up once more. That's 5 turnovers to 1.
Just a train wreck, isn't it?
Really turnovers. Phoenix have looked after the ball extremely well this season. They average only 11 a game. Second best in the competition. They've got a little pressure up the floor now on Sunday Deck. She's doing the ball carrying duties. Leaving McCarron for the moment. To go with 3 minutes played in this second quarter. A reminder, Perth versus Illawarra. Still coming your way. Johnson wide open for the 3. Comes up with a finish.
We've had back-to-back turnovers, the timeout in between, and you try and get the ball to Zhou, turn the ball over, and then you give up a wide open 3 to Daniel Johnson. That has been a layup for a decade, and another turnover.
An easy layup once more for Adelaide, and now lead by double figures. They've scored the last 10 points here.
We might be getting close to a 5-on-5 off type substitution from Simon Mitchell.
Well, something needs to happen because he's called 2 timeouts and they're not responding. I asked that question, what's going to get you going?
That's why I think if you're going to play like this and you don't have that fire in your belly, then you have got the young guys. I know Foxwell's not there, but you've got Barker, you've got Forsyth, guys who just maybe want that chance. They're going to go out there and play hard. Look, we've seen that. The Adelaide 36ers did that last season. Cairns, undermanned, they're going to play hard. Yeah. New Zealand Breakers, when they got healthy, couldn't make the finals, but they played hard.
And I guarantee you the fans would appreciate that more than having superstars out there not giving their all.
12-0 run now for the Adelaide 36ers, coming off road wins in Perth and Sydney. Looking for their 3rd consecutive road win. Cheat from close range.
He's bailed them out there. And he's bailed them out there. That's not a good shot.
That's a horrible shot.
Detch. It's Munford picks up the dribble. Here's Daniel Johnson. Harris working on terrain. The 2 Kiwis go at it. And Harris gets going the wrong way with the left hand. Nice finish to open his scoring account.
Oh, Harris cannot have this dance. Look at the footwork.
He's been given added responsibility, Hiram Harris, and he's answered the challenge. Season high of 12 against Brisbane back in round 18.
That's a good shot. Wide open 3. Step into it, knock it down. Just their 3rd 3 of 10. He gets some stops down this end.
It's all too easy for Adelaide at the moment. Johnson just reels in the ball, casually peels off another 3.
I told you Daniel Johnson was going to let that fly, probably yesterday. Just as soon as you have your hand down, he might not look like he's going to get ready to shoot, but he's unassuming, and everything he does is just so efficient with
8 points,
on the board.
4 boards for Daniel Johnson. Harris playing a little bit of soccer.
Here's this first one.
Just nobody near him anywhere.
So he's just knocked that one down. So this one here, look, he doesn't look like he's going to shoot it. Looking to the left. He was always going to shoot that ball.
386th appearance in the NBL. This game, Daniel Johnson averages 15 points, 7 rebounds, 35% from deep. Exceptional numbers. He'll be up in the voting when the 36ers hold their MVP night next Friday night in Adelaide. Sky City. Nice finish coming off the bench there. Mo King joins the 3-point party.
Mo King has found his spot in the last few weeks, and it's been as soon as you get on the floor, you've got daylight, let it fly. And you can do that because he's been knocking them down.
15-point lead now for Adelaide. Munford exploring, short-armed it. Johnson the rebound. King working hard for him on the other wing. Hands over to Dufelmeyer. Here's Dufelmeyer, lob pass. Sotto knocks it down. Chance at a 3-point play. Simon Mitchell and the Phoenix have got big problems here.
Well, things are going from bad to worse. Poor shot selection on one end and down the other end. Just a little driving lane. Maybe Munford was mismatched anyway. He had no choice but to come over across late. And one opportunity. This is getting ugly.
22-8 in this quarter for Adelaide. Score was 22 all earlier in this period. 22-5 since then. Sotto can't make the extra. Big lead though for the 36ers. In a rich vein of form. Adnam kicks outside. High arc on the shot. Wouldn't work there for Tarani. Adnam kept it alive. Did a great job of it. Smallest man on the floor. It's the O-board. Now Glidden works it down low. Krieg in the mismatch here with Tad Dufelmeyer. Double team arrives. Left Glidden open. He steps to his right for 3. Couldn't get the finish. But Johnson again happy to do the ball carrying duties. Now needs help. Finds Hannes working against Adnam. Lost control, almost got it back, then lost it again. You can see the funny side. Adelaide, just their 2nd turnover in the game.
Big 2 minutes 50 here for the Phoenix. Down 17.
At home.
Last home game of the season.
Against Adelaide.
A big 2 minutes 49 just to get some momentum going into halftime. Get something going.
6-7 at home this season, the Phoenix. Last year 9-9. Season before, 6 and 8. CJ Bruton, his first season as head coach of the Adelaide 36ers. It's been a rocky road for him, but a credit to him and the team, the way that they have closed it out here is we'll try and get into the huddle there and listen in with CJ and his team. And of course, have to back up on Sunday against New Zealand is Tasmania.
Wide or lay with Kyle Adams. Adams the one. Down here, so the down screen, he back cuts. He sent the pick. Set the screen high at the rim. The guy coming off, he's got the lob or he's got weak side. We good? Wide or lay. Defensively, you got to box out. You got to box out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sit in on drive.
Well, who are we revealing here? I know that man. He is in the house.
Coolest man in town.
Corey Williams, part of the NBL commentary team, just kick him back there.
Tell you what, Phoenix, put a jersey on him. Get him out there. Pass the rock.
Tell you what, there needs to be someone on that team to grab those players, forget about Simon, and give them a spray and say, look, this isn't good enough. We're playing for the name on the front of our chest and the name on the back of our jerseys.
It's easier in hindsight. There's a good take there about what kind of piece they needed. But you think about that 11th spot on every single team as Mohammed King tries to hit back-to-back threes. 11th spot on the team doesn't play a whole lot on any team. So when it comes down to thinking about that, Dave Anderson was training for a little bit before hanging up the boots. But so was Adam Gibson. Two guys who really would have pulled the reins in at any single moment. As soon as there was any, we call it slippage, both of those players would have made sure that does not happen. It doesn't get worse. It doesn't even get to the point where it becomes unsolvable. And that's something that you look back on. As I said, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but just to have that presence. I know Adam Gibson's still around, but on the floor, playing, okay, I just need 5 minutes here. I'm going to yank everybody in. We're stopping the bleeding right now. And into the season, during the week, those type of players really help.
Holding them accountable.
Exactly right.
Exactly. Let's go courtside. Matty Garrick.
Yeah, just listening into Simon Mitchell's time out there, although he's very animated on the sidelines during play, he didn't really have a lot to say to the players other than just trying to find answers on the defensive end. They said they're going to go to a hard show on defense, but he's just, you know, he seems a little bit defeated at the moment. He's doing multiple rotations. He threw in a zone early on, as we saw, and they're just trying to change it up to that hard showing now. So let's see if they can get back this lead here in the last 2 minutes.
Well, to be fair, as you mentioned, Copes, what more can he do? He had the stand-up timeout. That would have been a spray. They didn't answer it there, although they had a little good period for the last minute here, but they leave Dusty Cannons wide open, and that man is finishing off the season the right way.
He's found that range.
He's playing for a contract.
He is playing for a contract. Although it may not be Adelaide, he wants someone to have a look at him.
12 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Hit a couple of threes in the game so far. Margin at 16.
That's been the third or fourth time that Adelaide hit a three down one end, and they try and answer back to Phoenix straight away. But as we're back to Simon Mitchell, is what more can he do in this current situation? We're midway in a game. It's not like we're prepping or whatever. I've just given you a spray to try and tell you what I want. Now it's on you guys to come out and deliver.
And that's better as Creek extra pass to Ashley for the 2. Chance for a 3-point play.
We all know how this league works, though. Not this league, professional leagues. I don't care how good or how bad a player is. At the end of the day, if you're not winning, then the coach is the first one they look at.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that over the course of the whole night. We know what's coming up next. But it is, you're right, it's professional sports. A lot of teams win a title. Good smart play from Mitch Creek there.
That's a little bit better. Maybe that'll spark the Phoenix. Mitch Creek making things happen.
That'll frustrate CJ Bruton.
90 seconds out from halftime. Adelaide by 14. They started this term leading by 3.
1-3-1 zone. Don't leave that man open.
Anna's off the mark. Tarangi the rebound. Off to Creek. So they grab some momentum here, the Phoenix. Scored the last 4. Creek gets it back from Tarangi. Lob pass. Ashley from close range helps himself to 2 more. Back to 10-point margin. Timeout called by Adelaide. 1:11 left on the clock. So
this is very good for the Phoenix to try and end the first half. CJ Bruton, good timeout, I think. I know it's a minute and 11 to go, but just a couple things. Yes, she missed a 3, but it started with Sotto not holding that rebound. Mitch Creek got the little hand in there. They got an extra 2 points, and that looked too easy down this end. So quickly stopped the bleeding.
Adelaide's highest halftime scorer against the Phoenix coming up in this one as Simon Mitchell goes into the huddle there. And I recall a timeout last season in Adelaide when Brian Goorjian's team weren't following instructions. He called timeout and I stood behind the huddle. He didn't speak to them at all.
Oh, there was a GIF. He turned into a GIF.
He just stared at them, didn't he? And he looked along the line to every one of them and didn't have to say anything. I was getting the message and I wasn't even part of the huddle.
Of course. That's that stare that lets you know if you don't go out there and do what you're supposed to do, you probably won't be here next year.
If we weren't on TV, something else might be happening here. I'm just looking at you. Of course, this is the first of our double-header tonight. Cam Bairstow on the background there. I'd like to see him back in uniform and doing better. And Perth against Illawarra. Perth 4th, needing to win. Illawarra 3rd. Well, they can lock up 3rd if they can beat Perth. The Wildcats, well, plenty been said in the media as well. Scott Morrison, the coach, has had a bit to say, and we'll tell you more about that as the night progresses. But the Red Army, they are going to be foaming it, and they need a win. I think they'll get it.
They need to win badly.
I reckon they'll get it, Case.
I think they'll get it even without Vic Laws. So many times a team loses a star player and others pick up the pieces. It's amazing. And in basketball in particular, there's only 5 on the court. It seems to happen more than, say, a football game where 18 on the field, you lose a star player. It shouldn't matter that much. It's only 5%. Basketball, it's 20%. Somehow those numbers don't seem to correlate. So we're inside the last 60 seconds of the first half. Dufermeyer takes on Ashley, who picks up more fouls than any other player in the competition, and that's his first for this evening.
Well, Case, there's 11 blokes in green down in the Apple Isle who hope that you're wrong. Jack Jumpers will be watching.
There's more than 11.
We'll make sure they're watching every second of that.
Oh, look, they've been a credit to the NBL and everyone concerned with that organisation to be 16 and 11 and still in the hump for playoffs into the last round. It is extraordinary. They've beaten every team in the competition. No other team, franchise, or first-year team has done that.
I must admit, I had them dead last when I seen the lineup. I seen the roster.
You weren't the only one.
I said, no way they're going to win more than 6 or 7 games.
You weren't the only one.
Absolutely amazing. Full credit to them.
Will Magnay, 2-year extension, which means that besides their imports, I believe their roster is set. They've got decisions back on their imports, but every localised roster spot is there.
Feel-good story of the year, of the season.
And that's you know what? That's a hard question too. Do you replace your imports to get better, or do you keep that group that's playing well and try to get better?
I'll be keeping Majed, I know that. I think he's done an exceptional job steadying the ship, running the show. Phoenix are close to within 9 points here. They were down 17 3 minutes ago. So a good fight back from them as Sunday Ditch exploring, takes them on, draws a foul. He's off to the free throw line as Glidden picks up the personal.
They've done this well the last couple of minutes. That's what's got the Phoenix back in this one. It's just little drive and dishes. Drawing that last line of help, they were playing a zone for a little bit, and Brandon Ashley just hanging around. He's benefiting.
Well, it's about execution for the Phoenix because Adelaide is a long way from the best defensive team in the competition.
Absolutely, but when you're winning games, Case, that confidence can get you a little bit further than you think.
That's a good point that you make. Sunday Ditch struggles from the free throw line this season, Sunday. 65% this season.
Oh. Where is her head gone?
She wants that Hungry Jacks.
Sunday makes the back end, so he's got 13 in the game now, Sunday Ditch.
Ultra aggressive in his milestone. Raises the bat.
Last play of the first half. Adelaide by 10. Glidden, Ashley, Adnam. Single numbers on the shot clock. Adelaide with a foul to give. Adnam takes on McCarron. Tough shot, hung in the air, made it fit. Chance here for Adelaide. Ditch, no time to get it away. So the Phoenix score on the halftime buzzer to close it back to within 8 after being down 17. It's a good fight back, but at halftime, Adelaide 49, the Phoenix 41.
Well, they did really well. 17 points at one stage just to close it within 8. Good last couple of minutes. Better offense, simple offense. That's really what it was. Little dump-off passes, some easy buckets, and they got a few stops. down the other end. A lot of it was missed shots, let's be honest, because Adelaide could get whatever they wanted when they tried hard enough. Good first half.
Rebound count 24-13 the Phoenix. Some things are going well as we get courtside to Matty Garrick for some reaction.